You're holding a book. It's old, 600 years old. The pages are real animal skin, soft and yellowed, and they smell like every old thing you've ever touched. There are drawings, plants, stars, strange little women bathing in green pools connected by tubes like some medieval plumbing diagram drawn by someone who'd never seen plumbing. And there's writing, page after page after page of it, tight, looping, confident handwriting. Whoever wrote this wasn't hesitating. They knew exactly what they were saying. There's just one problem. No one, in 600 years, has ever been able to read a single word. Not a sentence, not a phrase, not one word. This is the Voynich Manuscript. And the reason it terrifies the people who study it isn't that it's strange. Lots of old books are strange. It's that the more you look at it, the more it looks like it should make sense. And it just doesn't. So let's start where everyone starts, with the easy answer. Because your first instinct, and it's a good one, is that this is fake. Somebody scribbled nonsense, made it look mysterious, and sold it to a sucker. People have been faking ancient things for as long as there have been ancient things to fake. Case closed. Go to bed. Except, in 2009, researchers carbon dated the pages. The skin the book is written on comes from the early 1400s, somewhere between 1404 and 1438. That's not a guess. That's chemistry. So if it's a hoax someone went to the trouble of writing on genuinely 600-year-old material, in genuinely period-appropriate ink, with no spelling corrections, no crossed-out mistakes, no hesitation marks. Page after page after page. That's a lot of effort for a joke nobody was around to laugh at. But fine, maybe it's still nonsense. Beautiful, expensive, pointless nonsense. Maybe the writer was sick. Maybe they were inventing a private language for fun. Maybe it's the medieval equivalent of doodling in the margins of your notebook during a long meeting. And here's where it gets interesting. Because if you feed the text into a computer, and people have for decades now, it doesn't behave like nonsense. When humans try to fake a language, we're bad at it. Predictably bad. We repeat ourselves in the wrong ways. We don't vary our word lengths naturally. Random gibberish has a statistical fingerprint, and so does fake gibberish, and neither of them looks like a real language. The Voynich text looks like a real language. The words follow the same frequency patterns that actual human languages follow. A few words show up constantly, most words show up rarely. The exact mathematical curve you'd find in English, in Latin, in Chinese, in every language ever spoken by human beings. The words have consistent structure. Certain symbols only appear at the start of words, others only at the end. There are patterns that repeat across hundreds of pages with a discipline that's almost impossible to fake by hand in the 15th century without a computer to check your work. In other words, somebody followed rules, strict ones, for 240 pages. We just have absolutely no idea what the rules were. Now, you might be thinking, okay, it's a code, a cipher, secret writing. The 15th century was full of people who wanted to hide things. Alchemists protecting recipes, doctors guarding cures, heretics dodging the church. Encode your secrets, and only the right people can read them. Reasonable. So let's bring in the best codebreaker who ever lived. His name was William Friedman. During the Second World War, Friedman ran the team that cracked Japan's most secure diplomatic cipher. A machine code so complex the Japanese believed it was mathematically unbreakable. He broke it. He is, by most accounts, the most gifted codebreaker in the history of the United States. And in his spare time, for years, William Friedman tried to crack the Voynich Manuscript. He failed. Not ran out of time, failed. Not got close, failed. He spent a significant chunk of his life on it, and at the end, he couldn't even say what kind of thing it was. The man who broke the unbreakable left behind a single conclusion, encoded, because of course it was, that basically amounted to, I don't know what this is, and I'm not sure it can be known. And he's not alone. Cryptographers from the NSA, linguists, mathematicians, medieval scholars, and now in our era, artificial intelligence, the same kind of pattern-finding systems that can translate 100 languages and predict the next word you're about to type. They've all been turned loose on these 240 pages. Every few years, someone announces they've solved it. The headlines come, Voynich Manuscript finally decoded. And every single time, within weeks, other experts take the solution apart and show that it doesn't actually work, that it only translated a few cherry-picked words, that it falls apart the moment you apply it to the next page. 600 years. The best human minds, the best machines we've ever built. Nothing. So let's talk about the pictures, because the pictures might be the strangest part of all. A huge section of the book is botanical. Plants, drawn carefully in color with roots and leaves and flowers, exactly the way a medieval herbalist would document the plants they use for medicine. There are dozens of them, and not one of them exists. Botanists have studied these drawings for over a century. A few vaguely resemble real plants. Most resemble nothing on Earth. They're plausible. They have the grammar of a plant, roots and stems and blossoms in the right places. But they're plants from a world that isn't this one. Someone drew an entire field guide to a nature that never grew. There are star charts that match no sky we can find. There are those little green pools, with women standing in them, connected by tubes and channels, doing something. We don't know what. We can't read the labels. The whole book is like this. It has the shape of meaning everywhere you look. A medicine book, an astronomy book, a book about the body. Every section announces confidently, I am about something, and then refuses on every single page to tell you what. So here's the question that keeps people up at night. The real one. We've spent this whole time assuming there's an answer, that the words mean something, that the code can be cracked, that one day the right person with the right key will sit down and the whole thing will finally open up like a lock. But what if there's nothing inside? Think about what that would actually mean. Not that the manuscript is fake. We've seen it's too disciplined, too consistent, too language-shaped to be random scribbling. But that someone 600 years ago sat down and built an entire system of meaningless symbols that perfectly imitates meaning. A language with grammar, but no words. A book with sentences, but no thoughts. Pages of pure, structured, beautiful nothing. That's almost worse, isn't it? Because it means the most unreadable book in human history might not be hiding a secret at all. It might be proving that you can build the perfect appearance of a secret, and that the rest of us will spend 6 centuries and supercomputers and the lives of brilliant people trying to unlock a door that was never attached to a room. And the truth is, we can't even prove which of these it is. Real language we can't read, or fake language with nothing behind it. We don't know. We may never know. The book sits in a climate-controlled vault at Yale, in the dark, keeping the only secret it has, which might be that it has no secret at all. Here's the thing I keep coming back to. You and I are surrounded by writing. We swim in it. Every day you produce more words than a medieval person would read in a year. Texts, posts, messages, passwords, files, mountains of language. And almost all of it is built to be understood right now by someone who already speaks your language and lives in your moment. But moments end. Languages die. The context that makes your words mean anything, the slang, the references, the shared assumptions, all of it evaporates the second the people who shared it are gone. Somewhere, 600 years ago, somebody filled 240 pages with everything they wanted to say. Maybe it was the most important thing they knew. Maybe it was a cure, or a prayer, or a map of the heavens, or the private language of a mind that worked differently than yours, and it landed in a future that simply could not hear them. That's not a mystery about a book. That's a mystery about all of us. Because one day, everything you've ever written, every message you were sure mattered, will be read by someone who has no idea what you meant, if it's read at all.